Rosa, we don't want to ask you again. You're a good girl. You want to tell the truth, so tell the truth, Rosa.
Where did Anita go?
To the drugstore.
What?
Her stomach. But she's...
This drugstore is closed at this time. Wisman's is closed.
She went to the all-night drugstore.
On Anderson Street? How did she get there?
She took the bus. Wait, where are you going?
To find her.
But she's not there anymore. She said that she was going to the library after...
The all-night library?
I mean, she went to borrow a book from a friend.
What friend? Bobby?
No, some girl in her class.
Which girl? Barbara? Betty? Who?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Tell me.
Bobby?
No,
What do you want us to do? Do I have to ask the nuns? Is that what you want? Do you want me to call every single parent at Immaculata? This is what Rosa wants us to do. Is this what you want?
She is with Bobby. Right?
They only wanted... All they wanted was...
Where did he take her? Where? To someone's house?
Tell us, Rosa. Or to the lake.
Where at the lake?
The boathouse. It was just a picnic, Papa. Why do you always think it's something bad?
Hey everybody and welcome to Pals Chat. I am your host Gina Parker. I'm here with my co-host Sweetness.
Sweetness! Hey Gina Parker.
Sweetness, what have you been into?
Oh my gosh. You already know life been lifing. What you been up to?
I did want to let fans know that all episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful are now streaming, like every episode ever. And so for those fans who love soaps because you're watching an All My Children podcast, that's available. And I hope they do it for All My Children someday and we can just go through and watch together. That'd be lovely. All right, we're getting right on into it. We're talking about the beginning of September. And this is a busy week.
Yes.
All right, so where I left off with...
You already knew. He called her name. Keep going. Say it. Get it out. Spit it out. You know I'm having a fit over here. Say it. Go ahead, Gina. Say it.
So Ross called out Natalie's name in his sleep.
My gosh. Keep going.
And his wife was like...
I know it.
Well, she's like, hey, what's going on there? And he's like, oh my gosh, nothing. It was a dream. You can't be mad at me about a dream.
Oh my gosh.
And so she was like having a hard time because she knew something was going on. But he's right. She can't prove anything off a dream. So she goes to Natalie and she's like, I know everything. And Natalie just starts confessing, like, sorry for sleeping with your husband.
Oh my gosh.
And Ellen finally gets the confirmation, like, oh, so you were sleeping with my husband. Natalie realized she confessed for no reason. And then Ellen decides to leave Ross and she leaves while he's at work. I guess so she'll have time to pack. And Ross has been drinking and, you know, dealing with his own demons. So he quit his job. And so he comes home from quitting his job to find out he doesn't have no wife.
Lost his wife. That's right. Yeah. Because of his infidelity. Yes. But I didn't understand. Why did he quit? Like what was going on with him and his daddy? I don't understand that part. Maybe I'm missing something here. And then he's also been mad at Natalie, and we're talking about Palmer. That's why I'm like, something is off for a second.
So basically, what happened in that area is Palmer walked in and saw Ross and Natalie hooking up.
And so he did see it. Because wait a minute now, because in one of the episodes, he was standing by the door. And by the door, there was a confession made. So I didn't know that he actually saw it. Shut your mouth. So he saw it.
Yeah, so he was like coming back to town to surprise Natalie. And he saw Ross, who's his son, and Natalie, his wife, hooking up together.
Oh.
And so he's been keeping it to himself, waiting for more evidence,
Oh.
more of a confession. But in the
Oh.
meantime, he's been taking it out on Ross at work, like trying to get, a reaction
Oh.
out of him, just being
What?
like, "You screw up, you
Oh.
idiot," blah blah blah, because he's angry. He's holding
Oh,
it in, but
yeah.
he's angry. And
Well,
so,
and that Natalie too, because she even like confesses that to her girlfriend, like he's different, he's not the same. So that's it. He saw them.
mhm.
Okay, now it makes sense. All right, I got it now. Okay.
And so
Oh.
Ross finally has enough of getting into it with his father because he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know why his father turned on him suddenly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he quits his job in anger and then
Mm-hmm.
finds out his wife left him, so he is not doing so well.
That's a shame.
Julie's boyfriend Charlie leaves for Stanford, and that girl
They got back
Cecily,
together. It looked like to me that they made amends.
yeah,
Okay, okay, and I like that. That was cute to see that they kind of worked through that, and that girl, she was still trying. Now she's being called out for all her little devious deeds and ways. That's what I've been watching.
yeah, and so Cecily is continuing to bully Julie and like in front of her and in front of other people be like, "Oh, I'm
Mm.
going to transfer to Stanford where Charlie is," and all this stuff, and it's like,
Mm,
girl,
mm,
stuff.
mm. Girl, stop. Exactly. Mm.
All that happens with Tom and Skye. They just have a
Mm-hmm.
nice honeymoon. Tom and Skye have a nice honeymoon.
Yeah. I love love. It was just the most beautiful love scene ever. He was like, I just wanted to always be like this. I was like, well, come on, Jesus, okay? Where is that man at? I'm like, this is such the movies, okay? But in this case, this is such the soaps. That's
Mhm.
why I love love. I don't care how fairy tale-ish it is. It still happens, and I believe it. I believe it because it happened to me before. I'm ready for that again, okay? And that just made me go, oh, like this is all like it was really a lot of love making. So you can kind of see like the trend too. Everything started getting real sexy and sensual and all romance. But that's all I wanted to say because it was just beautiful. Oh, and it made me just kind of go, oh, I love love. Okay, that was it.
One of ABC's slogans at the time was "Love in the Afternoon."
See, and it makes
Because when you have episodes 5 days a week, you can dig into a relationship like that.
yeah. Oh.
Jeremy and Noelle. So
Mhm.
Noelle's mom pops up out of the woodwork. She's the woman I believe you're
With the
talking about. Yes,
blonde woman that's in cahoots with the doctor.
yes.
That's her mama.
Hmm.
Okay, keep going.
And so she gives a backstory to Noelle. And
Mm.
so Jeremy and Noelle begin dating because it's
Mm-hmm.
been several months now. But
Mm-hmm.
also, he's like, now I know you don't have a husband or a boyfriend. I'm not stepping on any toes.
Mm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now I can pursue you for real. So they're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But then she was seeing Dr. Reed, and her mom's like, no, she needs to see this other doctor, Dr. Damon Lazar. And Jeremy's like, I don't trust that man, not one bit. I feel like he's brainwashing you. I like it's weird. And like they go on vacation to California. The
Mm-hmm.
doctor shows up on vacation, trying to get her back.
Mm.
And so it's, nefarious things going on with this doctor.
Mm. Oh. Okay, because I thought it was more cultish. Okay, it was making sense. You getting it together. Okay.
Mitch.
Yes. So, because I was like, okay, hunk, right? Okay, hunk. Like, what is this here? Him with Hillary and something about a dance, and then the girl, and then he got a story. Who talk to me? What is this?
So Mitch and Hillary. So Mitch and Hillary fell in love, but then Phoebe, Hillary's aunt, was scheming. She like said, "Oh, Mitch is married," and Hillary went down to Texas
Huh?
and met Mitch's wife Louisa.
Yes. Yes.
and was like, "Oh my gosh, she's married with a wife and kid."
Yes.
Phoebe went okay,
She
so
went down, to basically try to tell her to get a divorce or find out what the story was.
she
Because she's
already
coming to
knew
the
the
States.
story. She's
Shut
getting
up.
rid of her.
No, she didn't.
So what happened was Mitch married Louisa for a green card because they were
Yes.
unsafe in their country and they had a
Mm-hmm.
baby, and he was best friends with her late boyfriend.
Yes.
And so he married her to get her a green card to keep her safe.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the thing. He's not in love with Louisa or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in love with Hillary, but Hillary thinks he's just two-timing her. She doesn't know that backstory about the green card.
Oh, she does not know it.
So Hillary thinks like, oh, he's just some married guy cheating on his wife.
Oh.
And so she stopped talking to him, even though
Got
she
it.
loves him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he's trying to make Hillary jealous with this woman. Basically, Phoebe has known the truth the whole time, but
Mm-hmm.
she's trying to keep Mitch and Hillary apart because she doesn't think Mitch is good enough for Hillary.
Mm-hmm.
And so she decides to disappear Mitch's wife so that he can never get divorced, so that he's married forever and Hillary can never be with him.
Okay.
She's trying to get his wife to move without a trace. Like, his wife was trying to leave him a note and stuff, and Phoebe's like, totally, I'm going to send it. And then you see her crumple it up in a little ball. So
Mm-hmm.
she is basically trying to disappear his wife so that he can never get a divorce. There,
But why
talking about.
wouldn't she? Oh, because she don't want him to be with Hillary.
You're right. So she's like,
So, but
I'm
why
gonna,
doesn't she want him to be with Hillary? I'm not. If he's
no,
such a good guy.
but she doesn't think so. You know, she's the
Oh,
richest
okay.
woman in town. He's just some guy. She
Got it.
doesn't want him married to her stepdaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's basically trying to disappear Louisa so that one, Hillary can never get the true story because Mitch
Mm-hmm.
can just be like, oh, tell her what's up.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's stopping that, but also she's making it so he can never divorce her either, so he can never be married to Hillary. So she's just gonna
Mm.
be like disappeared off the face of the earth. He can't find her.
And when I saw her, I said, "Look at Pretty Woman." Okay, I said that was Cat from Pretty or Kit or Cat. You remember her name? Kit
Yes,
was a kid.
yeah.
I said, "Oh, that look at her." Okay, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if this is one of her beginning roles." Hey, that's kind of like one thing about like viewing these older episodes, right? It's like you get to see the stars right before they were their fame, right, or before their big pictures, their big motion pictures, right? I said, "Oh, that's Cat." Wait a minute. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, so far we've had like Wesley Snipes before he became very Christian Slater before he got famous. And then
Hmm.
in coming years, we'll have like Michael B. Jordan and Chadwick Boseman. And yeah, a lot of famous people got their starts on the soaps. Brooke is engaged to Adam, and just a
And
lot of
everybody
people are,
having a fit about that.
yeah,
Yes.
a lot of people are like, don't do it.
She wants her uncle to get on board, like, just give him a chance. And everybody's like, Adam is crazy. Hey,
Yep, Matt and Nina.
they got married.
Uh
And
huh.
he came in there and Palmer had a whole fit. He was like, get out. She was like, you can't kick out your what you say, your son-in-law. Yeah, you can't kick him out. Uh-huh.
So you'll remember Nina was married to Cliff in that fairy tale wedding with the carriage, and he was in
Yes.
New York, all that stuff. He was in a plane crash 2 months before.
Shut up. Oh, so she lost her husband.
And remember, Matt was dating that model girl and being like,
He sure was. Keep going.
he was like,
Uh-huh.
you can trust me, I'm a good guy. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
she cannot trust him. He is not a
Uh,
good guy.
uh.
So Matt tells Nina's grandma, like, oh, I'm going to go up to Martha's Vineyard where Nina was with her husband and comfort her. And then they come back together married.
Did he swindle her?
I think his feelings are genuine, but I
Okay.
also think everyone's right not to trust him because it's like her husband died 2 months ago, and we were expecting you to look out for her, and it seems like you kind of took advantage of the
But
situation.
does she have money? I thought he got money though. Maybe he
No.
really like her. Well, Remember? Oh no, he stole the money from
Yep.
Erica, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
So he owns a restaurant, and Nina is a multimillionaire.
oh, that's why. Oh, okay. So, is he with her for her money? Is that the main question now that's about to come out?
Well,
He
he
with her for
loves
the
her.
money.
He loves her. She says she loves him, but it seems like she's just in a very emotional place, and she should not have been with a guy who was wanting to be with her in that moment.
Oh.
Someone who's like her husband, who she has been with for like 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
has just died, and she got remarried for 2 months
That's that grieving.
for a
Yeah.
guy she barely knows.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
so he and Nina are super defensive, like, don't try and separate us. We're in love. But it's also like,
Yeah.
are you? Or is this like a rebound? She's not trying not to feel so bad about the
Mm-hmm.
love of her life dying, and
Mm-hmm.
you're available, and
Mm-hmm.
she's pretty and rich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, winners and losers.
Oh my gosh. Well, let me go with I have a big W across the board for everybody that was in the bed, okay? For
Tom and
all
Skye.
the lovers. But yeah, they were just, I had a whole moment right there with them. It was just beautiful. Okay, that's my W. But then the loser was the mama. Okay, how she was putting on her gloves, talking about my plan is gonna be to get her. I couldn't believe. And then now that you said that was her mama plotting against her, you know I don't like that evil stuff.
Yeah,
I don't like nothing
Noelle's
evil.
mother. Yes.
Noelle's a mother, so that's my loser.
I'll give it to Charlie because he got into Stanford and he's going to
Go
begin
ahead, let's
college.
go education. Come on, education. And he was working hard too. Remember, he was determined.
And he's still with
Family.
Julie, and
Yes, he is. Yes,
so
I like that.
everything's going good with him for the moment.
Yes.
And so Charlie's my winner. And then my loser is Matt for taking advantage of a woman whose husband just died.
Or was it really just love now? Are we sure it wasn't just love? No, no, we ain't gonna say love, huh? No love. Nope, no love.
I do not trust that man.
Okay, so it's not gonna be love. All right, all right,
Well,
all
I mean, it might be love, but after what he did to Erica, after what he just did
right.
to Robin, being like, "Trust me, girl," and then he's already
Yeah.
married to someone else by the next time we
Mm.
check in with him. Like he does not have the track record of being a good guy. So,
All right, all right, all right. Okay, no love, no love. Okay, no love. All right.
all right, that's it for this week. Please like, subscribe, comment, buy our merch, support us on Patreon. All right, well, bye.
Bye.
She's coming. She's coming. She's coming. Quiet. One more step. Wait. Where am I? I'm supposed to be at City Hall now, and I have a date getting married. Well, you sort of stood up for justice of the peace. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Put them together, and what have you got? I don't have a clue. Fairy godmothers and magic wands. I feel like I just stepped into some kind of fairy tale. Oh, it isn't a fairy tale, Mija. Yes, only much better. All it took was a little imagination. And a childhood memory. A woman's heart. And a pinch of pixie dust. And it was all to give you the wedding you have always dreamed of. Oh, for this life. Yes. Drum roll.
All right. Hey, everyone. We are here with Catherine Gardner, the Rosa Santos, OG Rosa Santos of All My Children. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited we get to step into the magical world of Pine Valley again.
So I'm going to start at the very beginning. What made you want to act?
I don't know. I think it was just something, I don't know. I knew I had it in me, but it was something that was very personal. And as a young child, I was very, gregarious, but I knew that I had something about me that really just wanted to express myself. And I think that was the best way to have, the inner part of me just be shared with the rest of the world, so that I loved that time in my life. And, not just all my children, but I would say that, being an actress is very separate. People will think that, oh, are you acting right now? It's a role. So I'm kind of shy. Most actors are, I think, but I'm very shy when it comes to expressing myself. Well, I don't know if my husband would agree with this, but I'm kind of reserved and private. I prefer privacy over popularity, but I would say the most important thing about starting off as a child actress is having the right foundation, and my parents saw there was something different about me and they wanted to, focus on that and explore it. And I was all for it. So I was very, very happy to be in that moment as a child and be able to have the opportunity. So many people really need to be able to be themselves from a young age, express their creativity. Yeah. Yeah.
So how did you get into the industry, as it were?
Oh my gosh. I was about 8 years old, 9 years old. And my mother put me in this Talent America competition. And there was a director or a judge there that was like, she has real talent. And so I got an agent, got a manager, and it took me 13 months. And it was complete rejection after rejection after rejection, which was a great training ground for life, by the way.
That must be hard as a child, though, to take.
Yes, because my mom was like, if you want to quit, you can quit. I'm like, no, you told me if I fight, that's okay. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this. This is no way. So after 13 months, I went on different commercial auditions and things. 13 months, I got my first job. And it's like almost like a rite of passage. Because in this industry, Law and Order and All My Children, like there's an expression. It's like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon is about like you can deduce, and like the common denominator becomes like, oh, I work with him on this show, and then this person's connected, this cast meets there, and then there should be that for All My Children and for Law and Order. Mm-hmm. So my first professional job was Law and Order, and it was a crazy scene, and it was about I played a Colombian drug smuggler's daughter, and my parents get murdered in the middle of the Doral Park Avenue Hotel, so posh, and I'm like, this is gonna be awesome. There's blood, and they're putting ketchup, and I'm learning all this stuff. Crazy. It looked like ketchup to me. I was young, and so from there on out, I started booking more jobs because I understood the industry from a very young age. But All My Children came at such an opportune time because after I booked that, I did Annie, Get Your Gun. And the one thing I want to say to the people who are watching is for you to take us, like you're with me on this journey, which means like the world to me, because I'm like, you guys are here with me. Like you're like right there. You're sitting in you're sitting in your living room, but you're also with us. It means so much because it's like, you follow along every twist, every turn, every single nuance. You're the cliffhanger at the end of Friday when they don't tell you what's going to happen. It's amazing. And you're right. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. So after I finished all Annie, Get Your Gun, which was a Broadway tour, that became family too. And to this day, actually this evening, I'm sitting at the Plaza right now, but I'm meeting a friend of mine who worked with me on Annie, Get Your Gun. That was a Broadway tour that we did. And I'm still friends with these people to this day. Very close. It's like a community. It's a bond. Behind the scenes. All right. You know how people say you need to keep work with work and then business is business kind of thing because it's professional. You don't want HR to come in and be like, there's an enterprise. In this industry, you really can't do that because it kind of compromises the vulnerability that you have to expose, right? Because it's like you're so open and you're crying every day. Rosa cried every day. Rosa Santos cried, I don't know how many times. There was
And
I
I'm
was
sorry, our Instagram photo promoting this interview was Rosa crying. So.
of course. Oh my God. Of course. That's all you're going to say. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. It was father gets into a car accident. Sister dies in a plane crash.
Mm-hmm.
The other sister goes into the witness protection program. I mean, come on. What do we? But it was juicy and it was good and it was an escape for people. And it was escape for me too. I mean, as a human being, it was really wonderful to step into that whole alternate universe and have you come along with me, right? So the thing is that the fans and the community that we had built, and that was like the golden era of daytime. Like that was the time to be on daytime television and to be among so many talented people. One thing I got to say is the powerhouse of that show, like the amount of talent and to be included in that community is just, I'm so honored. But if you think about it, go look around in anybody who's a celebrity these days or people who've really made it and famous or have made really, really good decisions in their choice in the career. They all get their start on like Law and Order or All My Children. Every single one. I'm like, oh, I work. And there's the 6 Degrees, which I'm coming back to. It's like everybody you know has always been on All My Children. Like the talent that they sourced was incredible. And to be one of them, very honored. Very honored, very honored. It was a beautiful chapter of my life. Very beautiful.
Oh yeah, you were on both. You had both degrees of separation.
Yes. And then there was like NYPD Blue I did. But I always play the victim. I'm so typecast. I'm like, I'm always crying. But I'm laughing in real life because I'm very happy. But yeah. Yeah.
So how did you get cast on All My Children?
Oh, that time, this is such a great, thank you for it. I feel like I'm in a therapy session now, going back to memory lane. You know, I had finished the tour and I was heartbroken because I did a Broadway tour and I became very close friends with a lot of our castmates because for 18 months, you're there every day. They become your family. Not so much in this industry now, but during that time, especially when you're working with people, it's like hard to break away from, you become attached to people. It's the human condition. So I had ended that in December. And pilot season, as it was back then, started in January, February. So I was going out and I was like, we ended the tour. It's January. What do I do now? I've lost my whole family kind of thing. Everybody went their separate ways. And I felt like a little lost. So all of a sudden my manager calls and she's like, Catherine, you have an audition for All My Children. My mother went nuts because that's her favorite story. Everybody's like, oh, my children. And so I walked in and I think I bore a very good resemblance to Sydney Penny, who played Julia on the show at the time. So it was very well cast here, but you had to have the talent, obviously. You can't just look like a person. But I walked in, Felicia Minnie-Bear was there, and Judy Bly-Wilson, who I still keep in touch with to this day. So it's such a crazy community that we have here. It's amazing. I had an audition, and I'm gonna age myself. It was when we had pagers and payphones. Okay. So whenever anything would happen, we would get the pager and like, I would sit there like, oh, my manager's calling me. So I'd run to find a payphone and call the number. This is so, hi, Lori, how are you? And she'd be like, good, Catherine, you have a call back, And then I remember I was on the West Side Highway and we were driving home and I got this beep. Whenever there was a beep, I was like so excited, like, oh, do they like me? Like Sally Field, they like me. They really like me. So I got this beep saying she booked it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got the part of All My Children and All My Children. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it became like a new family for me. And that was such an amazing experience that I will never forget. Never forget. Yeah.
Do you remember what your experience was like being on that set?
Oh, the laughter. There were long hours because a lot of the times, excuse me, let me just put this on silent. There we go. There were long hours. There were a lot of laughter, inside jokes, but we took care of each other. And it was the long hours were crazy because at the time I was living in Connecticut some of the time. And so a lot of the time, my castmates like T.C. Warner, who played Kelsey, or Kelly Ripa, who played Haley, or Darlene, who played my sister. We would all come together, and I would stay at their houses, and we would just kind of hang out at night. It really became a very close-knit community. So Offset was inside jokes, running lines, and then also it was the hair and makeup room. Oh my God, that was like the place to be for all the inside scoop of what's going on, and laughter, banter, because you have this frenetic energy when you're on set, so you kind of have to like get it out of your system and work with the person. So when I said like, yeah, business is business and pleasure, it doesn't work that way in the acting industry, because you open yourself to such vulnerability and you really have to trust the other person. So I don't think HR would do a very good job of our work environment, but it needs to happen, because you can't really let yourself go and be an actress if you can't work with a castmate that understands you and isn't judgy and all this nonsense, Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite on-screen moment for Rosa as a character, something that you were very proud of or enjoyed?
There was a couple of them. I had a couple of the really good scenes, I think, that were very super emotional. It was like not a telemundo, ay Dios mío moment, but it was a couple of moments. Maria's funeral was very nice, very touching moment. And when Julia went to the witness protection program, which was beautiful. That was one of the first on-screen scenes where I was crying. And I remember my mother on set, Socorro Santiago, who played Isabella. I was young and I'm very impressionable, and I was a bit nervous about, exposing myself, and, you're shy. It's first. I never really had a problem with that. I just didn't know how to go about it because I'm young. And so she's like, you can try method acting. That didn't work. Like, think of the long lost puppy, no. I really indulged myself in the scene. So that was such a training ground for me to understand how to like take Catherine away and put Rosa in, and you're a different person. And that's how I approach roles now, because I really have to like immerse myself in who that person is, and then I carry it on from there. So that was really, really special for me. It's just a wonderful learning experience. Amazing. Beautiful chapter of my life. Every time anybody asks me, they're like, oh, I remember this storyline. I'm like, you're bringing me back to memory lane. I'm so happy. Yeah. Really beautiful.
Do you have any behind the scenes memories you'd like to share?
Behind the scenes? How many do you want? Oh, God. We have lots of them. Hair and makeup rooms, joking around. But we were always professional. I was always very well taken care of. Especially as a young actor, because as you know, child actors, when they start off young, it can be very dangerous, but I was in very good hands. A lot of precious moments we have. As a matter of fact, my father, I'll give you a good one. My father always says, because TC Warner is a dear friend of mine still, and every time she'll fly over to my house in Connecticut. I live in Singapore now, but sometimes I'm in New York now, but I'll see her in Connecticut. She'll fly up. And when she sees my father will always go, Kelsey, I thought you were in Chicago. Because the dear beloved, may he rest in peace, Ray McDonald, who had a birthday a couple of days ago, that was the first entrance of her scene, where she walks in and, creates mayhem for the whole family because of the Bobby Warner thing, it's crazy. But yeah, so we always say, Kelsey, I thought you were in Chicago. But no, on off screen, we would have beautiful cappuccinos with the late Michael Nader and David Canary in dressing rooms, always doing runs of, because he's a fabulous singer. People may not know that. An excellent actor too. Like Robert De Niro has nothing on him, but this kind of thing. And Susan Lucci also, she was always introducing me to different nail polishes. So I was always very curious, because you're a teenager and you're like, what color nail polish? Like, she's like, it's like linen by Essie. I'm like, good to know. So I'm like thinking and I'm like, oh, because you admire these people, especially because you're co-stars with them. So it was really cool. It was a very, very special time. Very special time.
Is there an actor you wanted to work with but didn't get a chance to during your time on the show?
Many, many. But I wish I had a little bit more screen time. See, my character was very naive and very innocent. And that sometimes doesn't give a front burner to soap opera storylines because they always want the villain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they always want the problem. They always want the twist in the storyline. I kind of wish Rosa became a little sneakier or cheekier, you know, or had a little bit more of a twist to her because you'd never know, you know, this kind of naivete that she carried. I wish that was a little bit more explored. That would be nice if it was explored more. Yeah.
Well, Kelly Ripa has been talking about wanting to do the Lifetime All My Children movies. If you could bring Rosa back, what do you think she'd be up to now?
Oh, this is a good question. What would Rosa be up to? Rosa would be settled. She would be settled. She would be in top form because I think her parents' beliefs and value system, it's kind of like train up a child the way he should go and he shall not depart from it. It's a little biblical, but it's also very important because I think when you're raised in a specific environment, you can't really turn away from it. It just becomes who you are. It's ingrained in your character. I think she'd be very settled. I think she'd be happy, but it would be very interesting to see if Rosa had a little bit of I think there would be a deep emotional scar about her that because she's been through a lot of trauma in her life, especially with the losses and the twists and the turns and the loss of a father is not good. The loss of a sister isn't good. I think she would be a little troubled and I think she would probably lash out. I think she would want happiness, but she would probably feel like she never got the piece of a childhood that she deserved because she had a lot of stress and trauma in her life. I mean, it was always a funeral. I was always burying someone. You know, it's always saying goodbye and, you know, the loss. I think she would try to find, I think she'd have a ton of kids.
Mm-hmm.
I think she would try to find the joy in trying to recreate a childhood that was probably very absent from her life because she lived in a strict household and she lived in a very regimented life and she just was a people pleaser. That's why she couldn't lie. She was a bad liar. Oh, you know, no, Anita's she wasn't feeling well or something like this. But it's a tell because she can't lie. But I think as she evolved and matured as a woman, she would say, okay, I want to try this on my own. But she would probably not have the same kind of tools that she would need in order to do that because she hasn't probably fully healed on her own because it's heavy. It's a lot of stuff, you know. So that's probably why I'd see Rosa right now. And she'd probably be a little bit more, not manic-y, but I would say there's unresolved issues with her.
Mm-hmm.
So that could create a little bit more of a stress and drama. Yeah.
It's very insightful. I love that.
Thank you.
So I have heard some other All My Children actors talk about the fact that the show is based in New York. It is a big sense of community because the only people you interacted with was each other. It's not like LA where there's a huge...
Yes, thank God. Sorry. I'm against
yeah.
LA, but you know, I've heard some stories on other soaps and things. No, New York, this was a close-knit community. We looked out for each other. We really did. You always hear these crazy stories. I mean, people behind closed doors, they do what they want, but I personally never witnessed anything like that. I was very well and I went out. This is the 90s. You have to understand it was a whole different time, okay? This is the golden era of New York where, you know, but I'll age myself more. It was when you had to take the stereo out of your car, the front place. I don't think anybody would realize this if you're like Gen Z, but you would have to take the front plate of your stereo out so that people wouldn't steal it if you parked your car. Or put the club on. You know, these are the back days. But I was never really exposed to anything. We went out, we had fun, but I was never like exposed to really dark scenes or things that were super inappropriate. We had fun, but we always took care of each other, which was really nice. Yeah.
It's just so wonderful you guys were able to form that community. TC Warner spoke of the same thing and how close she still is with you. And
It's just amazing. I mean, TC, Carrie Gonzalez, Judy Bly Wilson. I mean, you kind of understand like.
and Judy Bly Wilson just got an
she's a
award.
powerhouse in her own. The amount of talent she sourced is like incredible. She just found stars. She should be Lifetime Achievement Award, but she found everybody.
I think she just got a Lifetime Achievement Award for casting.
Oh, she should. She deserves it. Brava, brava, chica. No, she really deserves it because she literally could find talent and put them together. And there's always people who we weren't divas either. We just kind of worked together. It was a beautiful time. Beautiful. Nobody didn't get along. I don't remember any kind of like offset riffs or like very minimal. We're all emotional people. Everybody has their days, but for the most part, I never witnessed any of that. And me at a young age, people at my young age at the time on the show, I was like in my early teens to like 98 to 2003. It was like 6 year time span. You observe a lot and you absorb a lot because you're just so fresh, right? I don't recall anything that was like super. Sometimes there would be like cheeky moments because it's high energy, high emotion. It's hard to turn it off when you're in between takes and things. But the long days on set, they would be funny. We would have little inside jokes and things like this. But it was just a really cool time to be a beautiful chapter of my life. Would go right back to it. Yeah. Really wonderful.
What advice would you give to actors?
Advice? Oh, the same advice I'd give anybody. Keep going. Keep going. The amount of rejection that I learned at a young age from you audition, and it's the worst thing is I would think that I would get the part. I'm like, I nailed it. I'd never hear back from these people ever again. and then I'd come out. My mother would be like, how was your audition? I'm like, it was horrible. I sucked. I flubbed the lines. Then every time that happened, I ended up getting the part. No call back. They're like, oh, we're going to fly you out to LA. I'm like, really? So your idea of what you think that, don't judge, don't be so, let yourself go and keep going. If you don't get it right the first time, pick yourself up and keep going. And I think that's the case for everybody in this world, you know? Yeah.
All right. Well, TC Warner wanted to sing your praises about all your accomplishments. You don't want to brag about yourself. You're very humble, but you are an accomplished singer and actress.
Thank you.
Is there any career highlights you'd like to share?
Well, okay. One thing that meant a lot to me was the last play I did, it was a few years ago, and I just finished a film back in this past October. But one thing I will say is that what really taught me a lesson was you can ride a bike in a new neighborhood. It can be scary because it's unknown territory. So I was doing a play called Glass Menagerie, and it kind of changed my life because it's a heavy play. And this character, Amanda, was very strong, and there was a ton of lines. And I'm an accomplished stage actress in New York, but in Singapore, which is a beautiful, unbelievable team, and I was also in very good hands, you still feel like you're a fish out of water for some reason. And so to have the opportunity to be cast as that role and then receive nominations for my work and things like this, it kind of like gave me a little more validation and made me feel like settled. It's like, okay, I'm on the right track. You know, I'm doing the right thing. So from the National Arts Council in Singapore, or nominated for Best Actress and things like this in another country. Okay, maybe it's okay. Yes, maybe they really like me. Yeah, but no, I really received a lot of accolades, but it's not even about that because I just have to do it. And if I feel like the fans like me, if they resonate and they can connect with me, that's the most important thing, because I do it for that, and I do it for myself too. It has to be for you have to do it for yourself. You have to feel that sense of purpose and fulfillment. I finished a film in October. It's in post production now. It's called Art Matters. It's a short film. It's about compromising, which I'll explain. It's about where I'm coming back to. It's about how much are you willing to compromise for your integrity and your precious art for other people liking you. And I think that can just be explored throughout every different part of your life or any kind of profession. How much are you willing to give in order to, but then there's a beauty about it. It's like, okay, if I'm so precious about my art, no, it has to be this way or it has to be that. Wait a minute, open up your horizons, give a little bit, and you'll see what other people can contribute to it. And that's also part of the community that you can appreciate. So that's a really good film. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. Mr. Sundaram Tagore, who is a wonderful director and a dear friend of mine, but a wonderful director, has produced and developed it, and we'll see where that goes soon. So there's a lot of good things on the horizon.
TC also wanted you to share about your production company.
Oh, yes, 9+10 Media. We have done a few. We're actually doing The Poacher right now with Miss Pamela Godfrey, world-renowned. She's in London right now. We've done a couple of them. We've done a few films with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, Damascus Cover. We're doing The Poacher right now, which is pre-production. So we do a little bit of like waterfall. It's called 9+10 Media, and that particular film funding and production company is more passion project oriented. I'm not really involved in front of the screen. It's more behind the scenes. Yeah, it's how the sausage is made, I guess.
Oh, you're like a triple threat. So many threats. You got the singing, the acting, the behind the camera.
So you have no idea. Like, I don't think I don't post on social media. I don't think anyone would believe me. Why? No, really, I'm flying everywhere. I don't care. I don't care. Just go. Just go. Do it. But what is it, Nike? Just do it. Yeah, that's, I guess, my motto. The title of my memoirs. Yes.
All right. And what are you working on now? How can your fans find you?
Oh, you can find me on, I don't really post too much on, I like to be private, but once in a while, just for proof of life, I will, post on social media a couple of things, but, where can you find me? Well, you can find me anywhere in the world. No, really, it was like Sri Lanka. Then I live in Singapore, and I was just in Dhaka, Bangladesh, and then I flew to Rome, and then I was in Altamura, and then I was in Singapore, and this is just like 3 weeks. And then I was in Florence, and then I flew back from Rome, and I'm in Singapore, then I'm back in Dhaka, then I'm in New York, and then in 3 days' time, I'll be in Vancouver. Then I fly back from Vancouver. From Vancouver, I come back from New York. New York, I go back to Istanbul. Then Istanbul, Dhaka, Dhaka, Singapore, Singapore, Rome. If you want to find me, I'll be in Italy in May. That's what I know. Because I have a big celebration coming up. So yeah, that's why I don't post. I'm like, people would never buy this. Like, those people like those digital nomads. There's digital nomads that are like posting fake stuff and all this. I'm like, people aren't gonna buy this. Yeah, I don't know what time it is. I don't care. It's whatever. Just get enough sleep. They're like, how do you adjust to the time zones? I'm like, I don't. There's no time for the time zones. Just sleep and just get used to it. Sounds glamorous, but can be exhausting sometimes, but very grateful. There isn't anything I wouldn't change.
All right. Is there a charity that you'd like to shout out?
A charity. I would say there's nothing like the love of a dog. I have 2 gorgeous dogs, Vito and Gigi. And I think it's very important for us to care for each other right now, but in a time where, dogs are like children that never grow up. There's unconditional love there. So I would say if there was any kind of charity, it would be to support and help dogs, because I'm more of an empath, Hence the reason why I had to cry all the time on the show. But no, I'm more of an empath that way. But dogs have an incredible spirit, and everything's a celebration. With them, it's like I would walk in 10 minutes later. It's like, you're back. Let's throw a party. Hooray. Let's dance, amazing. And that's the beauty of life. And I think, for against animal cruelty and the humane treatment of animals is very important to me. Yeah. Very dear to my heart. Yeah.
All right. We've come to the end. Is there anything you want to share you feel I haven't gotten to, or?
No, thank you for having me. I'm very excited. I have a lot of things to do today. I'm in New York. Gonna go have a couple of appointments, and it's just nice to be back. I went to Liberty Bagels, and it's a back of my little stomping grounds. It's a nice feeling. I got my coffee, this kind of thing, and I have my bagel. It's crazy. It's just back to. I guess I'm adaptable, but this feels like home. And then to revisit this chapter of my life is like extra special. What a bonus, So beautiful. So beautiful.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us, sharing your stories with us. This was absolutely fantastic. We are
Thank
so
you,
grateful.
Gina. Thank you. Really nice to meet you.
And so nice to meet you. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you. Take care, Gina. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you for listening. Our theme song is Wouldn't It Be Nice by Sound Mirage featuring Lady Rand. Please rate and review, download, subscribe, all the things. And you can email us at amcrewatch@gmail.com. Thanks. Talk to you next week.
There was a game we used to play when I was little. I'd hide in Maria's closet and watch her put on her makeup. I liked the way she smiled at herself in the mirror and brushed out her hair. Then she'd walk to the closet and open the door and say out loud, I wonder what I'll wear today. Then she'd reach to the clothes and grab me and tickle me. Sometimes if Mama wasn't home, she'd let me try a lipstick. She called me Señorita Rosita. And she smelled like roses. That's what I remember best.